Welcome to the next generation of warfare, psychological warfare. In modern conflict, the mind is a potent weapon. Discover General Michael T. Flynn's groundbreaking guide, The Citizen's Guide to Fifth Generation Warfare. Unlock tactics, strategies, and the mindset to navigate this cognitive battlefield that we all find ourselves in. Equip yourself against manipulation and emerge unscathed. Unleash your potential. Order now.
How's it going, everybody? It is February 17th, 2026. Keep wanting to say 2025. Going back in time to a younger self. That'll play into tonight's conversation. You guys, welcome to the AlphaWarrior Show. I'm your host, Alpha. I just want to say I'm in a good mood today. And the reason I'm in a good mood today is one of those life-changing episodes. I know when Josh introduced me to these two people, everything changed for me. In a lot of different ways. And in the last couple of years of being a part of this group, and yes, we're talking about Pet Club, I keep hearing the stories from you guys, whether they're posts or DMs or emails, and it's awesome. And like I said, I know how it's impacted my own personal health. So going to be a fun conversation tonight. This is going to be a mushroom show. Going to be talking about a DNA connection. Pretty interesting. We're going to get some science to how all this works. And then I'm going to share a little personal story of mine and something that I experienced recently, especially when it comes to the realm of blood pressure. So stay tuned. Support the people that support this show. We're going to get into commercials. And when I come back, we're going to have a show. This was recorded earlier today. This morning, but I'll be in the live chat with you guys. So if you got questions, drop them in the live chat right now and I'll listen. But it's a 1 hour show once I do bring them on, and you guys are going to enjoy it. So again, support the people, support this show. It's how I keep this content free. And on the other end of this, it's life-changing, and I hope you guys enjoy.
Science proves that a healthy immune system is the body's first defense against the smallest of ailments to the most catastrophic. Coriolus versicolor is the most sought-after, all-natural supplement for both humans and pets to help boost the immune system. There are over 400 studies worldwide on its effectiveness in humans, including Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, MD Anderson Cancer Center, and now from the University of Pennsylvania School of Veterinary Medicine. Together, we can help reverse this terrible tide now plaguing your loved ones and give them the immune-boosting supplements that they need.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Are you worried about the effects that higher inflation rates will have on your investments? Are you trying to secure your retirement savings against losses, but you notice that inflation is a hot topic these days? But how dangerous are low inflation rates on your retirement savings? An inflation rate of 2% may not seem like much, but it means that prices will just about quintuple over the lifetime of the average American. And 4% average inflation rate means that something that costs $1 when they're born will cost $23 when they die. That demonstrates the danger of even low inflation rates. So when it comes to gold and inflation rates, many investors want to know whether inflation rates have an effect on gold prices. What history indicates is that over the long term, increased inflation should lead to correspondingly higher gold prices. From September 1971 to August 2020, gold grew 7.5 times as much as inflation. Not only can an investment in physical gold help protect your assets against the damage done by inflation, it can also help grow the value of your retirement portfolio over the long term. If you're looking to protect your retirement assets, why wait until stock markets crash and gold begins to rise in price?
And so with that, folks, let's do our last Rumble one. And then after that, we will get into the show. They can freeze your accounts, shut off your cards, lock you out of your own money overnight. Banks don't protect you, they control you. That's why real financial freedom starts with ownership. Introducing Rumble Wallet, a non-custodial wallet built for people who refuse to give up control. With Rumble Wallet, you won't just buy digital currency like Bitcoin and Tether. You can own Tether Gold, real gold, on the blockchain. Through Tether Gold, you will get direct ownership of physical gold bars, each one fully allocated, verifiable by serial number, purity, and weight. This isn't paper gold. This isn't an IOU. This is real gold without bank vaults, storage fees, or gatekeepers. You can buy, sell, or move it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even when traditional gold markets are closed. And if you want, Tether Gold can be redeemed for physical gold. That's power. And when you support creators on Rumble, you can tip them directly using Rumble Wallet, peer-to-peer, and outside banking system right there if you're watching on Rumble. No permissions, no middlemen, no cancel button. This wallet is yours forever. And with that, I hope you guys enjoy the show. The links to the descriptions for the show that we're going to do right now will be down and in the comments. I'll catch you guys on the other end. All right, folks, remember, support the people, support this show. It helps keep this content free. These next set of guests that I have coming on, you guys know I like them. Talk about them all the time. We show this product on every single episode that we do, and there's a reason for it because I believe in it. I talk about it. So with that, what am I talking about? We're talking Pet Club tonight. Let me bring on Kurt and Kristen. You guys enjoyed the pregame show that we got to have in the conversation. I know the audience is definitely going to benefit. How have you guys been?
Amazing.
Yeah, fantastic.
So blessed. God is good.
God is good. 100% agree with that one. And I mean, it just seems like the country and the world has a long ways to go, but we've made some dramatic improvements in the last year.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I can say that I've personally witnessed, and I know a lot of people in my audience have witnessed, is a lot of the stuff that we've had you guys on the show before to talk about, certain mushrooms, certain things. You're starting to see this stuff not be buried when people go to search and look for it. Like I used to tell people, like, you better go get the Brave browser or something like this. And people are like, oh, I found it on Google. And I'm like, really? Like, right on. Okay. And, or they'll listen to something that RFK is saying, and they're just like, hey, man, like this Make America Healthy Again slogan it's becoming something more than that's just a slogan. People are bringing this into their home. We're seeing, kids we're this close to where kids are going to be able to go back to school and not be forced into a vaccine schedule. Like these wins are huge. I know a lot of people were making fun of, like, why is he going after, red dye in the cereals? I was like, because think about our culture. Both parents have to work to sustain a home, and we don't have it the way we all wish it was back in the day, where there's breakfast, a home cooked breakfast meal every day. Like, it's a rush. It's a rush to everybody to get to work. So most kids are eating cereal. So he's targeting something that almost every household these kids are eating all the time. And so with all these advancements in bringing, and when I say advancements, I'm talking advancements towards information and truth. I'm like, this stuff right here, oh, it is so gonna go mainstream so fast. And I'm happy to be a part of it. So I know today's conversation, we're gonna be talking about a DNA connection. We're gonna watch a little video. I'm excited about that, but set us up. Do you guys want to start with the video? Do you guys want to kind of introduce yourselves for those that are maybe hearing about Pet Club or seeing this show for the first time, and then we get into it?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. We can kind of share who we are with Pet Club, and we're very grateful to be aligned with you, Alpha,
Mhm.
and all the great things you do and share, and the voice for the people. And we're just a voice in terms of making sure we're bringing healthy products that have no bad ingredients. We're very big on all of that, and we know why our pets specifically have the issues they have because of all the bad ingredients that they've put into human products. They've done the same thing with our
Right.
animals, and our animals live half as long as they've used to, if that tells us anything. The rates of cancer, as much as 65% of our pets are getting cancer today. 1 in 3 allergies, 6 million new cases of diabetes every single year, new cases. And, it's just unacceptable. So, we have our own movement, make animals healthy again.
Our own Maha.
Our own Maha. But, we obviously have our human products, and it all started with human products. And we've been in the mushroom game now for over 30 years.
Yeah.
This wasn't new. We're not following the trends of what's going on. We brought this in for humans and sold it to humans for years. And the testimonials we get to share today, your testimonial, people are going to get a good understanding of what we have. But, we transitioned in the pet world along with this just 10 years ago as a result of watching too many of our friends and our own dogs die of cancer.
Mhm.
And here we had this product we've been getting to humans for years that doesn't cure, mitigate, or prevent, but has hundreds of testimonials and studies from the biggest institutions out there that talk about exactly what it does for immune support and modulation, which there's nothing like it on the planet.
Yeah, that's why every single pet, every person, every day, we believe needs to be getting this extract, this mushroom extract into their bodies, because we've seen it with our own eyes. We've experienced it with our own bodies. And so God has just convicted us to get out there and share it and let people know. We have like a moral obligation. When you see something happen like that, you have to share it with people that you care about. And that's where we are. And it's so funny because people will constantly be calling us and texting us. And, you'll see in the feeds on the podcast and stuff, people sharing these wonderful experiences that they're having. And a lot of the times they go, I've tried everything. I tried all these different things and nothing worked. Like, I don't know how this is working, but it's working, right? It's actually helping me. And my dog is acting like a puppy again. My cat's acting like a kitten again. I feel like I'm in high school, right? I'm like, put me in, coach. I want to play, I want to play the game of life. And there's actually science behind it. It's not only rooted in wisdom, right? We not only have this traditional wisdom that this is something that we've used for thousands of years that God has provided for us abundantly, but it's backed by science. And so we've been putting together some of the, I call them the mushroom moment videos that go a little bit into the research behind it. And people have these just incredible moments of, oh, that's why. It all makes sense now. That's why I feel this way, or that's why my body's responding this way. And it's been a lot of fun sharing these videos with people and giving them more details on why they're experiencing what they're experiencing. And at the end of the day, it's all about paying it forward, right? Like giving and serving and doing everything that we can to contribute. And so it's fun that we're able to educate people in the process as well and help them to understand. I don't know if you have that video.
I do. I will play it right now. So this is the DNA connection video. I'm going to get to see this for the first time too, so I'm excited. So let me hit play, and we'll be back after this video, everybody.
Welcome to our mushroom moment. My name is Kristen Ludlow. I'm certified in mycology, which is the study of mushrooms, and we are going to learn about the DNA connection between mushrooms and humans and why we're surprisingly alike. Most people don't realize that humans and mushrooms share up to 40 to 50% of the same DNA. This means that fungi are genetically closer to us than plants. And here's what this means and why it matters. First of all, we're on the same biological team. Unlike plants, mushrooms and humans both breathe oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. Both depend on external organic matter for food, so we can't make our own food through photosynthesis. Both break down nutrients using enzymes, and both have complex immune defense systems. So while plants create energy from the sun, mushrooms and humans must consume and convert organic matter, making our biology more aligned. And this shared biology means that mushroom compounds are more biocompatible. Our bodies recognize and utilize them more efficiently than certain plant compounds. The beta-glucans and the polysaccharides that are found in mushrooms, especially in the Coriolus versicolor, reishi, shiitake, and maitake mushrooms, interact directly with receptors on human cells, helping balance immune function, not by overstimulating it, but by educating it. Because of our DNA similarity, the human body reads these compounds almost like a code it already understands. So mushrooms don't force change, they train balance. Both humans and fungi have evolved side by side, fighting many of the same environmental threats like bacteria and viruses and toxins. That's why many holistic mushrooms naturally produce antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory compounds, and why those same compounds often work in humans. It's like nature's way of saying, I've already built you an ally. And because fungi and humans share these biological pathways, mushrooms act as adaptogens. They don't just feed us, they teach our bodies how to adapt. They help regulate stress, energy, sleep, immunity, and even cell repair. And while plant-based foods are wonderful for fiber and phytonutrients, mushrooms go beyond that. They deliver compounds that interact with our cells on a molecular communication level. So when someone says mushrooms are good for you, the deeper truth is this: mushrooms and humans have worked together. We share biological blueprints, and that's why their intelligence nourishes us in ways that no other food can. Hope you enjoyed this mushroom moment. God bless.
I totally dig it. I dig it. We're going to get more of those. I need to push those things all over social media. Like, oh, listen, that I like that. I like that. Please, your comments on it.
Yeah, it's so funny because when you think of mushrooms, you think of the produce section, right? Because when we go to the store, we're wondering, where do we get them? We go to produce, and people always ask, well, are they fruits or are they vegetables? But they're not either. They're not plants at all. They're actually their own separate kingdom, and they're closer to our DNA and our pet's DNA than they even are to plants or any other kingdom. And so it makes sense why they're nourishing us in these ways. And on top of that, the entire earth is covered in a mycelial network of mushrooms, meaning 80% of every single step that we take out in nature, we're stepping on this mycelial network. We're breathing in the spores. They're in the air all around us. So this is something that God intended for all of creation, all animals, all people, all plants, all over the world to have access to. It shows you that this truly was intelligently designed to be our greatest ally. And that's why our bodies are responding in the ways that they are. Why you've had the experiences that you've had is because of that biocompatibility, that our body reads these like a code that it understands, and it knows exactly what to do. It knows exactly how to utilize them, and they work together in like a symbiosis. It's really exciting. I'm such a nerd, but
it is, it's like, I love movies. I think I might have shared that with you guys in the past. And, like you think of the movie Avatar, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like this connection with these things. And it's just like, where did those ideas and concepts come from?
Mhm.
And now what we're learning is so much has been hidden from us, Now granted, I'm not saying hidden as in they classified it, but there's such a volume of information out there that they knew how to bury it.
Yes.
You go and look for something, and when people do a search, I always say on the devil's Google, and people do a search for something, whoever goes to page 20 on those searches, like it's like you look at page 1, 2, maybe you venture into page 3, but not very many people are gonna find it. Where if you're like on page 20, it's like the holy grail, whatever you were looking for, right? And you're like, dang, that's it's just the way we are. And so when we start, learning about this DNA connection and the similarities we have, it's no wonder, these things, they work.
Mhm.
And I get so excited. Like, I'm like, when I talk about it, I'm like, I don't want to sound like an infomercial. Like,
I
I don't
know.
want to. I don't want to be that guy that's just like, when you can't sleep and it's 2 a.m. and it's like, the dude comes and he slaps tape on a tank and the water doesn't come out. I like that commercial, everybody. That's why I used it. I'm not dogging on that guy. Okay. I may even have the tape because got me. And I was just like, well, if they can keep a boat from sinking, I'll need that tape one day. Right. But like, I don't want to sound like that. But again, I can't hide the fact of the excitement that I have because it's real. Like my feelings for this stuff is genuine. My best friend, the benefits that he's seen on his skin, the other stories that I hear from people sharing all the time. I'm like, everybody has to try this and experience this. My best friend knows this. I haven't shared it publicly yet. I might have told some friends on an X space once. I'm not sure. In the last couple of days. But other than that, I know my best friend knows, and I shared with you guys during the pregame. And one of the things that I told everybody, or that I want to tell everybody, is, and you guys know, I've challenged myself to like make myself healthy again. I've been doing that for like the last 2 years now. And so I don't drink, I'll socially drink when I go and speak at some of these conferences. And even then, like, I don't get too carried away. I do like to have some fun though. And then immediately when I come home, I would take these Restore. Now I know it's liver function and pancreas, and I was like, so it probably helps my kidneys, maybe not, but it still helps my liver. And beer alcohol is going to go through the liver, so I would take these for like 3 or 4 days after these conferences just to help my body out, and then it goes back on the shelf, and then I stick to my regimen, which is the yellow and the blue. And so I grabbed it one day, and on the bottom one it said blood pressure, and I was like, I said, let's monitor something. So just to give a little background on my story, and I'll bring it back to you, Kurt and Kristen, is, because of my choice of careers, in the military, combat Marine, and then immediately following that, going into law enforcement, blood pressure has never been something that's been on my side. Even when I've been at my fittest, doing the law enforcement boxing and all this stuff, I've always been in that pre-hypertension stage. And anybody that's in the audience that's watching that's in law enforcement is probably like, yeah, a lot of law enforcement officers are on blood pressure medication. And I just refused to ever take that. And one of the reasons I had refused is one of my buddies, I'll just use his first name, Todd. When I told him, well, change diet and all that, he's like, well, once you take it, like, you're not supposed to stop taking blood pressure medication. And I never wanted to have to be dependent on something like that. I just didn't. If I knew that it was based off of health, life changes, like I can choose to do this or choose to do that before I have to rely on some medical grade stuff, right? Because remember, I'm talking, this is, a decade and a half ago, 2 decades ago. And so my numbers have always been in like the mid 140s, like 143, 142 to like 148, 149, that high number. I forget what the high number is called. And then the low number would be in like the upper 80s, and even like I said, and what I would consider healthy, where I could still go run miles and do weights and all that. That's just where I was. And I just came to accept it. And so then when I saw this, I said, everything else that I've done has worked with these things. I said, let's monitor my blood pressure. And for the record, I actually, because I don't want people, this ain't an infomercial, I have my legit blood pressure monitor here. And the reason I even have this is this goes back to 2011, 2012 when my partner had died. And I had experienced, anxiety attacks and PTSD for the first time. And that was a whole world in of itself that I had to challenge myself. And so I brought this thing out because I had fear I was going to have a heart attack. So I went and found one that had, good reviews, made sure that it was accurate. So I went, friends with firefighters, said, hey, check this, check that. I got to make sure that this thing is what it is. So it was legit. So I went, grabbed this thing out of the back of the medicine cabinet, right? Because I hadn't needed it for forever, put in some new batteries. And I said, let's monitor some numbers. And so this is before taking Restore. Okay. This is on February 6th, 148 over 88. And my beats per minute was 69. That was at 9:45 in the morning. That's pre-Restore. And just so everybody knows, got all these things right here because I've been keeping tabs on them. So now let's take it to February 15th. This was at 10:20 in the morning. 124 over 75. Let's go to February 13th. 118 over 78. Let's go to February 12th. 123 over 84. February 11th. 127 over 79. Again and again and again. This is what, a week and a half? A week and a half. And all I did was add. So this is what I do. I do 2 yellows and 2 blues in the morning. And then I do a restore somewhere between 3 and 5 o'clock. You know, immediately following my biggest dinners when I take my restore, and I do 2 of these. That's it. That's all I've been doing. Now, granted, I still do my regular exercises. You know, I cold plunge, I do my runs, I do all that stuff. But even doing that stuff, I know what my numbers were prior.
Yeah.
And I'm like, a week and a half. So I told my buddy, he's a paramedic out there. He's going to be watching this show. He's watching now, I'm sure. And he's like, bro, yeah, that's how we talk. that's how we talk. And he's like, what mushroom is that? And I go, I think it's the maitake one. I go, let me go to the website and check. So I give him the scientific word for it. And he's like, dude, yeah, I've studied about this. And so he starts, you know, this and this. And he's like, dude, is this like the holy grail, like blood pressure stuff? And he's just like, you got to ask him. I'm like, well, we're going to do a show. So I'm going to bring it up. And I just, you know, for legal reasons, I want to tell everybody, I'm not a medical doctor. This is not medical advice, but I'm sharing a real life experience of what life has been for me since February 6th, you know, to now. And these are real results. Mm-hmm. And your comments on what I just shared with you guys.
Well, what's so great about this whole thing is, you're right. We're not doctors. This is not medicine. It's not a cure. It's not a treatment for anything. We're so conditioned to treat the symptoms, right? To take the medication or the treatment or the therapy for whatever thing we're experiencing. These are just foods. They're just pure potent extracts. We've perfected the extraction process for the proprietary strains that we have. We guarantee that they're pure, because we get them tested 3 times in the process for purity. So all we're doing is we're just feeding the body pure food. That's literally all it is. And then our own bodies are metabolizing it. And once it has that support, once it has the food and the components that it needs, then, right. Amen.
Yes.
Then our own bodies are what are going in and rebalancing and restoring and repairing and rebuilding everything that's happening, resolving a lot of the issues that we're having. So it's just so great. And your friend is right. Like, this is like the holy grail of foods. How have we not known? And it is a lot of suppression. There has been a suppression of this information. Like I said, we've been using this for thousands of years. What did the ancient Chinese call it? The mushroom of
longevity.
And then the ancient Egyptians called it the mushroom of youth.
Yeah.
So this is something that we've been using for thousands of years. And there are hundreds of published studies that have been done by the top institutes in the world. So why are we just finding out about it? With all of the information that we all have access to at our fingertips, I think a 5-year-old today has access to more information than the president of the United States had 25 years ago, right? So with all of that, how come we're just now rediscovering it or remembering what it's for and what it does for the body? And I think a lot of that was just a control of the information. You know, you can't patent a mushroom. You know, it's something that's just growing abundantly all over the planet.
Well,
and so
share with them why our mushroom, you know, because there are other mushrooms out there. And why would they choose these over, you know, some of the other ones?
Well, I call them the 3 Ps, right? There are 3 things. We're certified in mycology, and there are 3 things that are really important when you're taking any mushrooms. And the first is purity, the second is potency, and the third is process. So first and foremost with any food, and this is why I love RFK, and you know, you brought up the red dye and everything, the food has been contaminated. It's become toxic. It is unregulated, or I should say very loosely regulated. I'll put it that way to probably be more accurate. It's very loosely regulated and it's lost its purity. So we hear people all the time that say, oh yeah, I've been drinking this mushroom coffee, or I've been taking these vitamins I got at the store around the corner or whatever, that I saw it online, on Amazon or something. And it helped a little bit. But then when I started taking this Enforce, any of them, I could feel it almost immediately. Like I felt a difference in my body. I felt a difference in my mind and my clarity and my sleep and my energy. And these are noticeable, measurable things. And that's because we test every single batch of biomass 3 times for purity. We have a 3 certificates of analysis on every mushroom extract that we do every time we process it, because number one most important thing is purity. The second thing is the potency, right? There are hundreds of strains or varieties of each of these different types of mushrooms. Think of it like sourdough, or like bourbon strains, or there are all these different strains that exist of different plants, and they're not all the same. Some are more potent than others, and ours are proprietary to us, and they were selected because of their potency. We did extenuous testing to find the most potent strain. So not only is it pure, but it's also very potent. And then the third thing is the process. A lot of these manufacturers, as people are beginning to understand the benefits of mushrooms, they're like jumping on the bandwagon. This is something new for them. So they're just getting these mushrooms and crushing them up and then just selling it to people. They're not being diligent or intentional with their extraction process. And like Kurt said, this is something that we've been doing for decades now. We've perfected the extraction process. We know exactly how to harness all those bioactive compounds that are really going to help support the body and give it what it needs. So it is a night and day difference when you have like a pharmaceutical grade extract like what we have, that's grown on organic, contaminant-free substrates that have access to sunlight. Like we just put so much intention into everything that we're doing because we want to be good stewards with what we have. And the difference is notable. So that being said, as these different maybe institutions or just different people are trying to synthesize or mimic what these mushrooms are naturally doing for the body, and their technologies aren't even coming close to the biotechnology that's in these mushrooms. They can't mimic it. They can't synthesize it. And so that's why we haven't known about it. It's because they're trying to figure out, like, let's create something we can patent, and they can't do it because God's technology is more powerful than any of the technology that we can create as people. It's really powerful when you come to that awareness or that level of understanding, when you realize, oh my goodness, we've had everything that we've needed all along. It's just been here for us.
I've ran into these conversations. Like I said, I talk about this stuff on social media from time to time, and I'll get somebody that comes in and be like, I tried the mushrooms and I really didn't see, any differences or benefits. I said, but did you try the Pet Club ones? Well, they're like, no. And people say, but a supplement's a supplement. I said, first, and I learned this from you, Kristen, this isn't a supplement. This is food. I always tell people that, to engage in the conversation, I'll have the conversation around supplements, but before that conversation's over, I make sure to let people know that I don't actually call them supplements. This is my food. Like, this is my mushroom food. Like, like you got that in my head, and I just, that's how I see this. And I'll be like, just try it and tell me what you think. And it's always something positive. Or if I don't hear from them again, they still continue to order. So I was like, I told you. Because who keeps ordering something that doesn't work? Nobody. No. Nobody does that. But it's just, these things work. And people are seeing that.
We hear it all the time. And the same with your testimonial. We've so many times people have reported just what it's done for their blood pressure. We've had just amazing reports with people with type 2 diabetes, what they've seen in improvements with that. And, if you don't mind, we'll share a few of the most recent things that have been sent into the company. And
I would love for you guys to share that.
There's one that came in from an 11-year-old, and he says, hi, my name is Quentin, and I use the Enforce, which is the green bottle. It's the Coriolis Versicolor. Again, people aren't going to find, like some companies are doing, they're bringing things in from other countries full of toxins and metals. We got the purest strains and extraction process. But he says it helps me get up earlier and fall asleep faster. It is very easy to swallow. I don't have allergies anymore. The Coriolis Versicolor has helped me a lot. And so kind of cool, a little 11-year-old, but then his mother follows it up with, my name is Jennifer Welsh. I'm Quentin's mom. Quentin has suffered from severe allergies all year long for most of his childhood. Each year I spent a lot of time and money trying new products to help him and have had no success. Since using the Enforce, I have noticed 100% improvement with his allergies. Quentin has had more energy and has been able to wake up in the mornings for school on his own. The sneezing, coughing, and stuffiness cleared up immediately. This has improved his quality of life so much that he's willing to take it without any nagging. Pretty cool one. And then Lisa wrote in, oh, OMG, this stuff is amazing. I put this on 24 hours later. The results were amazing. And that is actually
she's talking about this.
I'm sorry, I didn't even realize.
Beauty and longevity gel.
Yeah. And she says, my face was baby soft and my complexion was radiant. I have used it for over a week and my face and neck look fabulous. It has become part of my daily routine when involves skincare. You won't be disappointed if you purchase this. Granted, it does have somewhat of a smell at first, but it does not linger. You feel fresh and the glow shows. There's another one here. Let's see. We have a 10-year-old Yorkie. Playing ball is the highlight of his day, but he could only chase it once or twice, and then he'd have to lay down.
Oh.
Decided to start him on special sauce. It didn't take long, and we noticed a difference. He's running for the ball 20 times and doesn't want to quit. He acts like a 2-year-old again. Highly recommend this product. You see, we hear people that are healthy that take this, that feel younger, more energetic, just amazing things that they notice and see. Kim wrote in, my dad's PSA numbers have been great. If you remember last spring, it got to 10.6, but after taking 10 green a day, that's the Enforce.
And 2 blue.
Triple dosing it, and then 8 green and 2 blue, it went down to 0.1, then 0.01, and now again at 0.01. So he's holding steady with an extremely low number. His appetite is back and his strength is coming back too. Currently, the doctors are evaluating whether his colostomy can be reversed. His blood tests have been amazing.
And here's another one from Greg. I started adding the dog special sauce to my dog's food because he'd become a picky eater and didn't seem excited about mealtime anymore. And within days, he was finishing his bowl completely, and I noticed he seemed more energetic and engaged. After a few weeks, his coat looked shinier, his digestion seemed more regular, and he just had that spark back in his eyes. And I know I'm adding something natural to support his overall wellness instead of just empty calories. And now it's part of our daily routine. Like, this is just a little tip of the iceberg, a little handful of what people are sending to us. And these are customers that are just saying, hey, this is what we've experienced. Thank you for getting this out there. Thank you for sharing this. And you talked about moving in the right direction over the last year. And there's something bigger that's happening, that it's not just what we're seeing culturally and what we're seeing like with the government, even though we are seeing great progress and we do see it moving in the right direction, but also these different people and these different things that have happened have acted as catalysts for all of us, right? And it's showing us like we got to stop waiting for other people to solve all of our problems, and we all got to start playing our part. Stop complying with the old systems, start creating better ways of doing things, and start utilizing those, organize and mobilize and get it out there. And I think that's what I'm most encouraged by, is how we're doing, like just you and me and this entire community, how we're stepping up and we're contributing and we're responding, and we're not supporting the systems that oppressed us and kept us down and controlled for so long. We're building new systems and supporting those systems with what we're doing. And we're giving our time and our attention to things that are good for people and good for pets, instead of living in this fear, of all of these things, which is how literally we were just pushed down like that by all this fear that we always had all the time. So it's so incredible to be alive right now and to be a part of what's happening, and then to be able to participate in this way, you know, to be able to have something to offer to you and to people and their pets that's actually helping them, you know, that's making a difference in their lives.
It is. And as I was listening to you guys read those testimonials, that's people and their pets getting their life back.
Yes.
And we and I know there's lots of people that are listening right now that have some type of pain or ailment that you don't even really talk about it no more, because you just learn to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether it's I just have to go. I got to know when I plan this trip, you know, I got to plan, you know, I got to time it around 4 to 5 stops, because I'm going to have to use the ladies' room or the men's room. Or, you know what, I just know that when I wake up, this is going to be the struggle. You know, I got to go and do these stretches, because if not, I'm going to do, like, we acclimate to these things that have happened to our body, or we camouflage them with these synthetic poisons that don't address the root cause. They just address, you know, the symptoms of it. And then we just learn to live like that, because that's just the way life is, because that's what we see on TV all the time. You know, newsflash, folks. All right. You know, for my older community that's watching, when you see all these synthetic commercials for all these drugs, you're not seeing that on the Nickelodeon channel. You're not seeing it on the TV shows that aimed at people that are in their 20s. You know, this is there's a demographic age group that they're targeting these people, because they want to keep that group of people in pain and dependent upon these things. And all of a sudden there's this stuff that, you know, that exists, that you start taking it and you're just like, all right, is this luck? Am I in my head? Is this did I just convince myself of a placebo effect here? Is that what's going on? And then 4 days pass, and then a week passes, and you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Because it can't just be, the answer can't be that cheap and that easy. It just can't, right? Like, we don't want to accept that. And then you just realize, you know, I've been taking this for a month and I feel so good. And then it almost just brings you to the point where just emotional, because you're like, how much of my life was robbed from me?
Yeah.
You know, like, why was this kept from me? And then that brings you to what you're talking about, Kristen, about wanting to pay it forward. Then you're just like, you know, you start thinking about the other people that are living in this pain, or handcuffed themselves to a lifestyle that just, you're too young, you know, to feel that way. You know, you shouldn't have it. And there's a very simple solution, and an affordable one. You know, 'cause that's the next thing I want to talk about. Like, this is a very affordable product, because every time I go and I see these commercials, you know, the stuff people send me, I'm like, why haven't you talked about the prices yet? You know what I mean? I'm like, you're going to hit me with that, like, you know, it's $300, but if you break it up in 7 payments, and I'm like, you sons of bitches, like, I knew you were going to get me. You make me commit to 45 minutes of watching something, and now you hit me with the price tag that I'm just like, damn it, this is half a car payment. Like, you guys, no, I have to get it, because everything you talked about for the last 45 minutes is that's what I'm going through. And then you hear about Pet Club, and then you go to the website and you look at the prices, and you're like, all right, what is this, like $50 shipping? Like, where are you hiding the cost? Where are you hiding the cost? And then you realize, no, like, they really are this cheap. I'm going to bring up the prices. Don't worry, folks. The anticipation will not be disappointing. It's just, this is really life-changing stuff, guys.
The crazy thing is, Alpha, you know, what this does for us, we could be charging hundreds of dollars for a bottle because of what it does. It's so amazing. But obviously we would never want to do that. We want to make sure we're giving back and doing the best we can to help people. And we're just so grateful to be able to do that, you know.
And you're not wrong about that, Kurt. You know, I remember the first time I experienced sciatic pain. Let me tell you, I don't wish that on my worst of enemies. It is excruciating. And I went to all these professional massage places to try to, you know, get it dealt with. And, you know, paying a lot of money. You pay a lot of money. You think that, and I wasn't even saying get rid of it. I just make it bearable.
Right.
And then somebody told me, hey, there's this massage lady that's, does these massages from her house, this area. And I'm just like, I'm desperate. I got this hurts. And so I go over there, and granted, she had pride in her work. She had like the charts. It looked like a professional establishment. She was just doing it from her home. And $60 for an hour thing. And she twisted my body like a pretzel. And I remember getting up off the table. And I'm like, I would have paid $600 for that. Like, if this happened again and she said, it's $500 now, I would, here's my card. Just take it away. Just take it away. And you're right. This is something that every budget can afford. Every budget.
Yeah. And the Enforce, this product, which is our key product that we initially rolled out, that has done so many things for people. And some of them that were dealing with very catastrophic issues, and turned it around. Just taking this alone, it's been absolutely just amazing to watch and see. And there's so much that we consistently see, especially when we do shows like yours, and the feeds that people will write in that, how this helped them with something that was life-threatening to them. But this does not interact with medications. You can't overdose on it. You can't get addicted. You can't take too much. And so people that are healthy, it's 1 per every 50 pounds. But if you're dealing with something in your body, you're trying to course correct, get yourself back to normal, then you might double up on them, and we always recommend that, you take them in the morning on an empty stomach, you take them at night on an empty stomach, and before bed. And just keep that regimen going. If you have something catastrophic, something life-threatening, we'd recommend that you do a minimum of 10 a day, and more, if you can, even 12. Some people have taken 15 when they've had major issues, and they've seen just staggering results. It's really incredible. We offer 30-day money-back guarantee, but somebody goes to the website that you're going to be posting up here, and they order. They want the human product. They'll see we have pet products. They'll just click on the human products, and they'll be able to get all these mushrooms that we spoke about today. I'm with you. This is the one that I take every single day, like you do. And it has this mushroom in it as well, but the reishi mushroom. And so they're just fantastic mushrooms. Of course, the restore the liver and pancreas. Incredible products. And then the super sauce, which is back here, that we talk about, aside from all the other products we have, these here, right on the website, these are what we shared some of the stories about today. Get these into your animals, get them into your dogs. It's cats, horses,
chickens.
It's just amazing, what it's doing for people and pets. And
you laugh with chickens, but think about it. How many of us, I'm lucky, my neighbor has chickens, right? And I'm really tempted. I'm like, should I take on this endeavor? Like, how much cleanups here? You know what I mean? But imagine feeding this to your chickens, and then you're eating your chickens' eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're feeding this to your cattle, and then you eating your cattle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the circle of life thing's legit.
Yeah.
We actually had a lady, oh goodness, I'm going to try to remember off the top of my head, but she has chickens that had completely stopped laying. They completely stopped laying eggs, and she started breaking apart our little dog biscuits called the mush puppies and letting them just kind of eat those. And the hens started laying eggs again. And then she sent me a before and after too. And before, the yolk was like a yellowish color. And then after she started giving them the Coriolis versicolor mushroom, it turned into this deep, almost orange, like very healthy, mineral rich, full, vibrant color. She's like, this is insane. She's like, I'm not imagining this. She had before and after pictures. She had before and after pictures of the size. So the chickens that were already producing still, the eggs were getting larger after they started getting the Coriolis versicolor. So they were larger and they had brighter, more vibrant coloring. So it's so funny, what what happens. We have people give it to ferrets.
Well, we had
rats.
a guy that a rancher that would started giving it to his sick cows,
Mhm.
and the turnaround he wrote in the turnaround was amazing. We lose so many cows every year that just die, and he goes, "This is incredible what we noticed by just giving this to him." So,
It's, I was having this conversation about the mushrooms in a space about 2-3 nights ago, and one of my friends that's in there, I won't say his name because I don't know how much of his story he wants into this big of an audience, even though he did share it publicly in the space. But his father's dealing with a throat issue,
Mhm.
very similar circumstances to kind of what I sounded like Chris was dealing with.
mhm.
And he goes, how can I give him these mushrooms? Because he has a swallowing issue. And I'm like, well, here's the great thing about the green bottle. The green bottle, those come in the capsule.
Mhm.
So you can open that and put that in the shakes and stuff that he's taking and give it to him that way. And so I think he was ordering them that night or the following night. And I can't wait to hear the feedback from, because this is somebody I talk to almost daily. I cannot wait to hear the feedback about his father a month from now.
Oh, I can't either.
I can't wait.
Our friend Diana, she this was in 2020. She was diagnosed with colon cancer, and she was attending a local hospital here in Vegas, and because of COVID and some other reasoning, they had to put her surgery out 2.5 months. We spoke to her. We said, "Hey, Diana, in the interim, get on this mushroom. Take 10 a day.
Yeah. Get that immune
Let's get that
system.
immune system as
Yeah.
healthy as we can, so that when you go through this, you're going to get through it a lot quicker, a lot easier." And so she started taking it. And the reason I bring this up is she doesn't like to swallow anything. She can't swallow pills. So she would take it and put it in her tea every morning and every night. She was doing 10 a day. And the nurse comes over, draws her blood, get ready for pre-op. So it's about just over a month into it. Next day, the nurse calls and says, "Diana, we've got the oncologist. He wants to get on a video call with you. It's super urgent. Can you do this like now?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." And they set up the video call. She jumps on it, and she goes, "I get on it." And the oncologist has a smile, which I kind of expected, but he goes, "Diana, what are you doing?" And she goes, "What do you mean? What am I doing?" And he goes, "Diana, what are you doing? You're in remission." And right. And I'll tell you, we just
It's
we're
been
just
6 years now.
yeah. And she's
She's
never
doing
had
great.
a reoccurrence. Her numbers are fantastic, and we just are very blessed to hear this a lot and do some great things. And again,
You don't have to
this
take
doesn't
our
cure, mitigate, or prevent. It's very important we share this, but it gets your immune system working optimally again. And if we can get that working right, it's capable of solving any issue we can be dealing with, because that's why we have it. That's why
Mhm.
it's there. Too many things are compromising it. Too many things are causing it not to function optimally again. And that's where our issues come from.
I mean, that is awesome. Many years ago, over a decade ago, I'm out here in Southern California, the Coachella Valley. There was a young girl, and she's actually the daughter of a girl that I went to high school with. And everybody fell in love with this little girl's story. But she had a terminal cancer.
Yeah.
But the life that she showed everybody in the final, months and days of her life, like everybody knew this girl's story. And I just think back, imagine if they had just known about this then. Could it have been different? Could they have put that in her yogurt, that a massive amount for that tiny little thing, and could it have been different? And I would argue and venture to say yes, but the thing is now when this happens in the future, we can try it and see.
Yeah.
There's hope, and if anything, at least hope.
Right.
And that's important. It's the big pharma has tried to mimic what God created, and it can't.
Mm-hmm.
It just can't. And the reason it can't, because if it could, then it couldn't patent it.
Mhm.
Just the legalities around that proves the point. So you just have to know that there's always going to be a slight difference, But here we are. And I just want to say, I encourage the audience that if you're watching and you're just like, all right, Alpha's going to bring up the website and here comes the car payment. I'll tell you what, if you want to break this into 7 payments, folks, go ahead. But let me bring this on to share it. And you can kind of run through each one of these colors and give everybody kind of a brief description. I know we've covered it. Yes, folks, these are not typos that you see on the screen here. Those are real prices. This isn't installment number 1 of 7 installments. That's your price right there. And, you know, granted, you'll have your shipping cost to wherever you live, but that is what you're paying. $42.99 for the green one. And I wanted to wait till the end to show this because I know everybody that hasn't seen this before was just like, this is going to be expensive. I know it. I know it. And then you see $42.99 for the green bottle. I'll turn it over to you guys. Tell us a little bit about each one of these, and I'll scroll down as you do.
Of course. And it's so important. And that's something early on that was, you know, God really put on our hearts was that you can have the best thing in the world. And if it's not accessible to the average household, then truly how much of an impact can you make? And I remember when Alex Trebek was fighting his fight for his life, and he was taking a mushroom supplement that was costing him $2,000 a month. He was paying for this special thing that was made for him. And I'm just like, wow, I'm so grateful that we, like, regular people can have access to this and can take it, and it can support their systems and give them that support that they need so their bodies can fight and their bodies can function more optimally. So the green bottle, like Kurt said, that's the Enforce with the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. Every pet, every person, every day should be taking the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. That modulates the immune system, which is the body's best defense against anything. So we want to get this into the body every day. Like Kurt said, it's 1 capsule for every 50 pounds, just for general well-being. If you do have some concerns, we recommend doubling that every day, just until you start to see some resolution. And if you have serious concerns, we recommend tripling or maybe even quadrupling that until you start to see some resolution. But I don't go a day without taking the Coriolis versicolor mushroom. I used to take allergy pills every day. I used to have an autoimmune condition. I used to have a gluten intolerance and a dairy intolerance. All of that now gone. My body has rebalanced itself and found harmony again. And I don't need any of those things anymore. I haven't taken medications in, goodness, almost 9 years now, not one. So that just shows you how powerful the body is. Now, the yellow bottle is an upgraded version of the green bottle. It's called the Enforce Plus, and that's the same amount of Coriolis versicolor mushroom, but it also has a little bit of the reishi mushroom, which is an alkalinizing mushroom. And it has a lot of great properties. It helps to promote healthy blood sugar levels, blood pressure levels, cholesterol levels, all of those types of things. So that's actually what a lot of people that are dealing with, like the rheumatoid arthritis or the PSA levels, a lot of times they'll opt to take the Enforce Plus. Now, the next bottle is the red bottle. This is the Enforce Restore. That's the new one that Alpha started taking. It's the maitake mushroom. And mostly it's known for the liver and the pancreatic support, but it has so many other properties in it that help support a lot of other systems and organs as well. So it's a great combination. We call this a complementary mushroom. So while everyone every day should be taking at least this, if you do nothing else, at least take this. But if you do have some concerns, you can add this to it and take it along with it, and it will help to accelerate your progress, give you a more targeted approach. Now, the Enforce Clarity, this is really important right now, the blue bottle. Because as we've been talking to people and we've been following the studies and the research, and cognitive issues are up by the thousands of %. So we're seeing early onset dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, neuropathy, just all types of cognitive issues are rising at an alarming rate. And the Enforce Clarity is the lion's mane mushroom. And this helps give nerve and brain support. So you can actually go and check out the published studies, what researchers are saying about the lion's mane mushroom and how it impacts Parkinson's and neuropathy and, Alzheimer's and dementia and those types of things. Very powerful. Also very helpful for maintaining a healthy weight. It helps with your microbiome. And then the other one is the Enforce Shield, which is our newest mushroom addition. I love this one. I call it sunshine in a bottle. This is the shiitake mushroom, and it's just a great source of natural vitamin D, has a lot of antioxidants, really helpful for cardiovascular support. But one thing that I noticed right away was just it made my days feel brighter. It just brightened things for me. And it also it helps to promote antiviral functions in the body. So the way your own body responds to viruses, this helps to support that. So I personally take one of each every single day because of the different properties that each of them have. But like Kurt said, with the complementary mushrooms, you can just take 1 to 2 tablets for every 50 pounds. You don't really need much more than that. Only the green bottle is the one that you can triple or quadruple up. But the other ones really help to complement what your immune system's doing. And again, these mushrooms, they're not treating symptoms. They truly aren't. What they're doing is they're supporting your body's own systems. And there's a big difference in that. And so we just are really confident and encourage everybody, just give it a try. Like Kurt said, you have nothing to risk. You have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. And we're really confident it will be helpful for you, regardless of what you're experiencing.
I have to. There's a reason I've been with these people for a few years now. There's a reason I continue to put my name behind it. And it's for everything that we've talked about tonight. Now, in addition to that, I want to let everybody know they have a new product, and I'll be bringing them back next month so we can really dive into this. But when I was talking about this one, I'm going to call this the happy bottle now because of Kristen. She told me about something else. And I was like, wait, what? So kind of give us a teaser of what we'll be talking about the next time we bring you guys on with that new product you showed me.
Well, we've done a lot of research and studying into how a lot of these adaptogenic mushrooms can help with graceful aging, and it can help with longevity. And so we formulated a new product that's a little different. You still take it. I take a teaspoon of it every day. I mix it in with my smoothie every day. There's nothing artificial or synthetic at all in it. It's just all the adaptogenic mushrooms, natural herbs, inner leaf, aloe vera, which is very soothing and does a lot for the body, Irish sea moss. I can go on and on. But what this beauty and longevity gel does is it activates systems again in your body. So it helps increase your own collagen production, your own glutathione production, your own production of these things that break down as we get older and the body gets compromised and weakened, not only by stress, but also just the toxic overload and the toxic environments that we live in. But all these little superfoods all together really help to make a difference. I can't wait to talk about this on the next one. You're like one of my new favorite things that I can't live without. You heard Kurt share, Lisa's experience with it. And this is meant to be like mixed in with a smoothie, or you can mix it in with your pet's food. It's safe for animals too. But she uses it as a serum. She started just putting it on her skin, and she's like, oh my goodness, like I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on creams and serums and lotions and this and that. And this bottle has done more for me than all of those things combined in a shorter amount of time. And again, it's because it's just natural. It's just natural things.
You ladies are gonna love that, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get some too.
Men are gonna love it too.
So make sure you guys keep an eye out next month to do that. And then we have some other news because Kurt and Kristen have sought a new adventure. And I can't wait to see more of this, but you guys have your own podcast you're going to be doing. So let my audience know about that on our way out. When's it coming? Where can they find it? All that good stuff.
Well, it's coming up very, very soon. God put it on our heart to write a book. So this is our first book that we've actually ever written. So it's our baby. We're super excited about it. It's called How to F Up Your Life. And before you freak out, it's just advice on faith, family, finances, fitness, and freedom. So it's effing up in the right way, leveling up your life in those areas, and just the different lessons that we've learned and what we've lived by. And so we're really grateful for that. The stuff that we've learned, that we've share in that book, has transformed our lives, like in a positive way, just helped us completely find alignment in all of those areas. So our hope is that others will find that same type of alignment in every area of their life as they learn these lessons that we've learned as well. But we're also launching a podcast called F Up Your Life. And we're excited. Alpha is going to be one of our guests, but it's just ordinary people and areas in their lives that might have been messy or dirty, and how God got them through it, how they overcame it, how they got to the other side. And we want to encourage people, like, regardless of what you're experiencing, there is hope. There are people that have pushed through and found freedom on the other side of it. And hopefully we can all draw strengths from each other's experiences and learning from each other's mistakes, and also learning how to extract the lessons from them that keep us moving forward. So that is launching very, very soon. You can see more details at fupyourlife.com. That's also where you can get the book if you want to check it out. But it's our little baby. We're so excited about it. Thanks for sharing that, Alpha. We appreciate you so much.
100%. Yeah, you guys, I've shared with you the impact that you've had on my life for me and my family. So anything I can do to help back, I appreciate it. A lot of times, for those, I know not everybody subscribes to a higher being. I do. And one thing that I've learned is, when you pray to God and you ask for strength, he doesn't wave the wand and make you strong. He puts you in a scenario in your life where you learn how to get strength. You pray for peace, and he puts you in a scenario. He doesn't wave the wand and give you what you're asking for. He puts that event in your life, and then you get it.
Yep.
And that's what makes it everlasting, and that's what brings us to that ultimate eternal salvation.
Right.
So I look forward to getting the book. I look forward to coming on that podcast. And again, I can't wait to hear more stories. Every time I do one of these shows, I get the messages from people that I've been taking it. Let me tell you about this. I forgot. And I'm like, tell me. And it's awesome. And it's awesome. And again, folks, those prices were not installments. That's it. That's the price. So if you're watching this at 2 a.m. on replay and you're just like, wow, this was cool. This was cool. You guys, I appreciate you coming on. Do me a solid, folks. Stick around, support the people, support this show, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Remember, Operation Gladio live Wednesday nights with Colonel Towner. We didn't do Just Alpha yesterday because I had some important things that I take care of. So I'm probably going to be doing that either midday Thursday, or I'll probably be doing it Friday evening after Badlands is only land. So we're still going to cover that content. Just had to adjust it because I'm not just podcasting anymore. So with that, you guys, good night. God bless, and Semper Fi.
Semper Fi.